Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our October 24th general meeting of the Riverhead Board of Education. I'd like to begin with a roll call. Mr. Connolly?
Present.
Ms. Healy?
Present.
Mr. Scudder?
Present.
Ms. Murphy?
Present.
Ms. Redmond? And Mr. Wallace is absent. Can I have a motion to enter into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular person or corporation? Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes at 6:02. We'll be returning about 7 o'clock. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 24th Riverhead Board of Education general meeting. Can I have a motion to re-enter into public session?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready, cut, right, face, march.
Thank you. We're going to continue with the superintendent's report. Dr. Galati?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Palmer. Okay, good evening, everyone. So last week, we celebrated our Board of Education. Unfortunately, we were not together. So tonight, I would like to recognize our Board of Education. So we would like to recognize our Board of Education tonight for their dedicated commitment to our students, our schools, and our community. We appreciate all the support they provide and the time they volunteer as a valued voice in representing our community to best support district programs and the many important opportunities for our students. Please help me to commend and recognize Mr. Palmer, Board of Education President, Mr. Connolly, Board of Education Vice President, and trustees, Mr. Wallace, Ms. Redmond, Ms. Healy, Ms. Murphy, and Mr. Scudder. And what we have for you right now are some certificates. So I guess as I call your name, if I could hand over a certificate to you, or I'll just come and deliver.
Yeah. Got a lot of stuff tonight, but thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go.
Okay, so we have a very special surprise for you. And so what I'm going to suggest is if our Board of Education can maybe take some seats, maybe some seats up here. So as a gift to you from our district schools, I invite you to watch a video capturing moments of our students in voicing gratitude to our Board of Education for all of their tireless efforts and support given to our students on a daily basis. Is this mine? It's yours.
Holiday Hello, my name is Alaya. We is for the leader. Hello for being up to dinner. A is for always being kind to us. R is for really caring. P is for dedicating the time. Thank you for a good education. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for all the beneficial behavior of our school. Always great. We never take the time to show you how we appreciate it. But as students are learning, we always feel safe and use the good. We hope others around the relationship take the time to thank you because you do so much every day for our Thank you for making our school an enjoyable place. Thank you. Thank you, Board
Board of Education, we're here to wish you a happy Board of Education Appreciation Week. We appreciate everything you do for our schools, our families, and especially our students. We have a special message for you from Roanoke Avenue students.
Thank you for everything you do. Happy Board Appreciation Week, and thank you for all that you do at home.
What does teamwork mean to you? Oh, very good. I love that. Hi. Teamwork. Oh, I love that. I love it. Thank you. That beautiful job. Anybody else? Yes? I love it. Anybody else? All right, well, nice to know, boys and girls. Thank you.
So we have another group tonight to recognize. In the month of October, we also recognize and celebrate our principals. As a former high school principal for 12 years, I understand and commend our principals for the hard work they do daily to support our students, faculty, and staff, and the Riverhead learning community. Please help me commend and recognize Mr. O'Hara, Dr. Pasquera, Mr. Burke, Mr. Enos, Mr. Payton, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Miltenberg, Ms. Tisham, and Mr. Gazar. Please come up for a certificate. Okay, so at this time, we're going to recognize two individuals that are receiving tenure tonight. So it gives me great pleasure to recognize the following members of our Blue Wave family in receiving tenure. First is Mr. Rotkamp, Jason Rotkamp. It is through Mr. Rotkamp's leadership, compassion, and insight in the Department of Fine Arts that we have the opportunity to offer courses in music and art, but also those classes that enlighten and enrich students as creative and critical thinkers that provide them with knowledge of culture, opportunity to learn in a collaborative setting, and enrich students' personal overall growth. When called upon to assist in a multitude of capacities to support our students and staff, his response is always, "How can I help and assist?" It is through his perseverance and insight that we continue to consider and establish multiple pathways for students leading to graduation, to engage and support them in the arts and in meeting success to be prepared for life beyond high school. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Natalie Ventura. Personally, I had the great pleasure to work collaboratively with Ms. Ventura at our high school on many occasions. Ms. Ventura is truly a student advocate and has a genuine commitment and compassion for her role and responsibilities as a school social worker. Ms. Ventura always presents herself with a positive demeanor and possesses a strong work ethic, as evidenced by her commitment to our students and the attention given to requests by teachers, staff, and administration. Thank you for supporting our students. Congratulations tonight to our tenure recipients, Mr. Rotkamp and Ms. Ventura. We wish you great success and many accomplishments as you continue to be dedicated stakeholders in the Riverhead learning community. So tonight, we have two presentations. Our first presentation this evening will be on the grades 3 through 8 state assessment data in mathematics, science, and ELA for the 2022-2023 school year. Please welcome Dr. Janine Campbell and Dr. Maria Casamassa as they share this data with our learning community.
Good evening. Tonight, we will be presenting on district-wide New York State assessment results in ELA and mathematics, grades 3 through 8. The ELA scores depicted in this chart are broken down by grades district-wide. Columns 1 and 3 identify the percent of students scoring at levels 3 and 4 considered at or above grade level. The participation rate, which is identified in columns 2 and 4, remains consistent. Based on the chart, our 2023 scores in ELA increased in most grade levels. An essential component of our Thrive in 5 plan is strengthening Tier 1 instruction, leading to student growth and achievement. Literacy teaching and learning is a very complex process. Our district-wide programs focus on explicit teaching in phonological awareness, phonics, and word work, and transferring those skills to authentic reading and writing experiences. Our word work programs include Foundations, From Phonics to Reading, Words Their Way, Phonics to Reading in grade 4, Hegarty Phonemic Awareness, Spire, and the Sonde system. Reading is ultimately a meaning-making process, so a second component of our literacy program includes the Fountas and Pinnell classroom. This initiative focuses on transferring phonics and word work skills to authentic reading and writing experiences. Fountas and Pinnell classroom includes authentic text, explicit lessons, and professional tools for a systematic and responsive approach to literacy instruction. The system supports whole group, small group, and independent learning opportunities. Each component requires time and support. Therefore, our teachers have participated in professional development sessions for the past 3 years. Aquabog, Roanoke, and Riley are in their second to third year of full implementation. Phillips and Pulaski are in their first year of full implementation. And now, Dr. Campbell will present on the math data.
Thank you. Good evening. In mathematics, these are our results for students who have scored at a level 3 or 4, which is considered proficient, on the 2022 and 2023 New York State assessments in grades 3 through 8. I would just like to note that some of the 2022 percentages for the tested numbers have changed since the presentation that you previously received a few days ago. So just to note that slight changes due to typo. When you look at this data, you can see we are improving in mathematics in all grade levels. Percent tested has dropped slightly from last year to this year, but we still overall have the majority of our population participating in these assessments with the exception of grade 8. In grade 8, participation rate is slightly lower as a result of a small percentage of our students participating in Algebra 1. Dr. Pescara will be speaking to those results in his next presentation. We are pleased to say that we are in our 4th year as a district with the Ready Math program through Curriculum Associates, and you can see the proficiency level increasing as students progress into middle school. As we continue to build students' numeracy skills through the Ready Math curriculum, they are entering middle school with the foundational skills necessary to be successful and prepared for mathematics curriculum. Each year, the Ready Math program provides intense professional development to teachers and administrators several times throughout the year. Professional development is individualized by grade band to conduct deep dives into diagnostic results individual to each classroom and student, so our teachers continue to provide data-driven, targeted instruction to their students. Ready Math helps teachers create a rich classroom environment in which students at all levels become active, real-world problem solvers. Students develop mathematical reasoning, engage in discourse, and build strong mathematical habits. Ready Math encourages students to develop a deeper understanding of math concepts through the embedded standards for mathematical practice. They build on prior knowledge with lessons that make connections across grade levels and directly address the major focus of that grade level. They also incorporate a classroom math routine that promotes conversations and increases accessibility of math for all students. As the numbers show, our students are thriving as a result. In an effort to continue to move instruction forward, we are developing the Essentials of Learning. The Essentials of Learning is a document that provides teachers, students, families, and others with a summary of what students are expected to learn at the culmination of each grade level in the 4 core areas of learning, K through 6.
The document that we are going to develop will be rooted in the New York State learning standards for each core discipline by grade, followed by an expectation through the teacher's lens of what is taught and the purpose of such to prepare students for success as they progress from one grade of learning to the next. In addition, we would like to develop a tool teachers can use to communicate with parents and guardians.
We are also planning to continue our articulation and alignment meetings, providing teachers an opportunity to meet with one another throughout the school year across buildings and grade levels to discuss strategies to meet the needs of our diverse learners.
During these meetings, teachers will share strategies for critical thinking, problem solving, relevance, career opportunities, collaboration, student voice, and more. For professional development, we continue to work with Discovery Education through the department and monthly meetings to make sure that our teachers are aware of all the resources currently available to them in delivering current and high-quality instruction to our students. We thank you for your time this evening, and we would now like to turn it over to Mr. Sean O'Hara.
So our second presentation this evening is with respect to secondary regents and AP results for the 2022-2023 school year. Please welcome Mr. Sean O'Hara, Dr. Joe Pesquera, Mr. Charles Cassar, and Ms. Kelly Ann Pilato, who will share this important data with us tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Galati. Good evening, President Palmer and members of our Board of Education. We appreciate the opportunity to present this evening. Joining me, as Dr. Galati stated, Dr. Joseph Pesquera, middle school principal, Ms. Kelly Ann Parlato, high school assistant principal, and Mr. Charles Cassar, K-12 director of guidance. I would like to acknowledge and thank our high school cabinet and members of our middle school cabinet for joining us this evening as well. This evening, we will be sharing the results of our 2023 Regents exams and advanced placement exams, as well as share with you some information on our dual enrollment courses for college credit and the early college program at Suffolk County Community College. As you are aware, in accordance with our Thrive in 5 comprehensive plan, one of our 5 strategic goals is to increase student growth and achievement. It is essential that we analyze our data associated with Regents and advanced placement examinations in order to inform our instruction and ensure that we implement strategies and best practices to meet the academic needs of all of our students. Just a reminder, leading up to the 2022 Regents exams, the Board of Regents approved a temporary expansion of the existing process to appeal to graduate with a lower score on a Regents examination through August of 2023. This means that through last August of 2023, students who scored between 50 and 64 on a Regents exam could appeal to earn credit for a Regents exam, provided they successfully met the requirements of the coinciding course with a passing grade. In addition, for the 21-22 and 22-23 school years, our Board of Education approved a no-harm policy, meaning that Regents exams would not be calculated into a course final average unless they improved a student's final grade in that course of study. There's a lot of information on the slide, and we will be breaking down each exam on the upcoming slides. But looking at the table, we can see that we experienced a decrease in the amount of students achieving a grade of 65 to 100 in 6 of the 10 Regents examinations offered. The largest decreases can be seen in ELA, living environment, physics, and global history. However, we did see an increase in students earning 65 to 100 in Algebra 1, Geometry, and Earth Science. When we look at mastery, or students earning an 85 to 100, we see slight increases in ELA, Algebra 1, and Global History, and we see decreases in students achieving mastery on the remaining Regents exams. Now we'll take a deeper look at each Regents examination, broken down by general subgroup. Breaking the data down by general subgroup helps target our research as we review results and plan for future improvement. When we look at ELA, 89% of our non-English language learners who took the exam scored above 65, with 56% achieving mastery. While only 10.5% of ELs who took the exam scored above 65, it is important to note that English language learners who are enrolled in grade 11, ELA, take the Regents exams regardless of whether or not their L level is entering, emerging, transitioning, expanding, or commanding. The largest increase in mastery performance can be seen in our students with disabilities, with over an 8% increase from the previous year. In both Algebra 1 and Geometry, we see increases in all general subgroups when it comes to proficiency. Of particular importance is that on both exams, we see greater than 6.5% improvement in proficiency overall for all students who took the Algebra 1 and Geometry Regents exams. For Algebra 2, we see slight decreases in those who achieve proficiency. However, we do see a decrease of about 7% for all students who took the exam achieving mastery. And on to science. Looking at earth science, we see increases in all general subgroups when it comes to proficiency, with an increase of almost 10% improvement in proficiency overall for all students who took the exam. And for living environment, we can see a decrease in performance among all general subgroups, with the largest decline in performance seen among students with disabilities. On this slide, we can see a very slight decrease in those achieving proficiency slight decrease in those achieving proficiency and mastery for both chemistry and for physics. We see just about 6% decrease in those achieving proficiency and a decrease of about 7.5% for those achieving mastery. Let me do that one more time. On this slide, we can see a very slight decrease in those achieving proficiency and mastery for chemistry. And for physics, we see just about a 6% decrease in those achieving proficiency and a decrease of about 7.5% for those achieving mastery. Moving on to social studies, while we see an overall decrease in proficiency on the Global Regents exam, we do see improvements in several general subgroups, the largest being an almost 5% improvement in proficiency among our students with disabilities. All general subgroups showed improvement with regard to those achieving mastery. And for U.S. history, you can see our results on the table. June 2023 was the first administration of the new framework exam. The exam was canceled in June of 2022 by the New York State Education Department. I do want to jump back to ELA. While I know that this may not be a direct comparison, I thought it would be important to consider some historical performance. The majority of students who took the January 23 ELA exam are from the class of 2024, or the 2020 cohort. When the 2020 cohort took the grade 6 ELA assessment, 65% of the students in the cohort at the time were tested, and 28% of those students achieved proficiency. And when the 2020 cohort took the grade 4 ELA assessment, 69% of the students in the cohort were tested, and 24% of the students achieved proficiency. And I did the same thing for Algebra 1. The majority of our students who took the Algebra 1 Regents exam in 2023 are from the class of 2026, or the 2022 cohort. When those students were in grade 8, 54% of the cohort tested, and 7% of those students achieved proficiency. 86% of the students from the cohort took the grade 5 math assessment, and 21% achieved proficiency. And 79% of the students in the 2022 cohort took the grade 4 math assessment and achieved 28% proficiency. So again, while not a direct comparison, there are many variables. I do believe that our students have shown growth. One of the smaller learning communities that we created with your support is our Blue Rose Academy. Last year marked the second year of the program and culminated with 3 Regents examinations. This is not our alternative school, but a smaller program within our regular program that was designed for students who were identified as needing additional support in ELA and math as rising 9th graders. And you can see the results on the screen. Living Environment Regents, 83% passing. Algebra 1 Regents, 77% passing. Algebra 1, 77%, and Living Environment, 83%. Did I get them all? Global Regents, 87% passing. Living Environment, 83% passing. And Algebra 1, 77% passing. So I do want to commend our teachers that are involved in that program. And at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Pescara.
Thank you, Mr. O'Hara. Good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking Dr. Galati and the entire Board of Education for providing me with the opportunity to present here tonight. I'd also like to thank the Board of Ed for their continued support of Riverhead Middle School. This has been such an amazing start to the 2023-24 school year at Riverhead Middle School, and we are truly grateful for your support. Before I begin, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of the teachers. Every day I have the opportunity to walk into our classrooms and see the amazing work being done by our students. It is our teachers who help to empower our students to grow, not only academically, but socially as well. They are truly an inspiration. At Riverhead Middle School, students have the ability to take 2 Regents exams at the end of their 8th grade year. Those students with strong math and/or science backgrounds can take Algebra 1 and/or Living Environment. As you can see, during the 22-23 school year, 94 students took Algebra 1 and 122 students took Living Environment. Proficiency for Algebra 1, which is the amount of students who scored 65% or above, was at 97.87%. This is up very slightly from 21-22, which was 97.67%. The 2 students who do not meet proficiency are both eligible for the special appeal as they scored within the 50 to 64 range. In looking at mastery on the Algebra 1 exam, 17.02% received an 85 or above on the June 2023 exam at Riverhead Middle School. This was an increase of about 3/4 of a percentage point from the 21-22 school year. Living Environment saw a noticeable increase in proficiency rates from 21-22 to 22-23. The number of students scoring 65 to 100 went from 91.18% in 21-22 to 98.36% in 22-23. The 2 students who did not meet the proficiency were both eligible for the special appeal as they scored in the 50 to 64 range. The number of students obtaining mastery of 85 or above increased over 1% to 39.34 in 2022-23. On this slide, we see a breakdown of proficiency and mastery scores by subgroup in Algebra 1. We were proud to see one of our English language learners sat for the exam in June and received a proficient score. Our goal is to increase opportunities for all of our subgroups moving forward. And this slide shows a breakdown of proficiency and mastery by subgroup in Living Environment. I am proud of what our students have accomplished and look forward to continuing the great work not only with the Regents exams, but every other aspect of their educational experience. We have some absolutely terrific scholars that will do great things with the support of our amazing teachers. At this time, if anyone has any questions regarding my slides, I would be happy to answer them. If not, I will pass it on to Chuck. Kellyanne? Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so I am going to be presenting some AP data. So I am the AP coordinator for Riverhead High School, which means that I facilitate the exams, I order exams, we plan for where, how we're going to coordinate the master schedule, making sure that we have ample students to take the courses. And then, of course, we have students that challenge content areas where we don't offer courses. And so we want to make sure that they're given an opportunity to take the exam as well. And so if you look at the chart here, if you notice, there's quite a bit of courses, a variety of courses that we offer. We have 2D art, we have music theory, biology, physics 2. Some of our newer courses that are highlighted in red are Physics C, Electricity and Magnetism, and also Pre-Calculus. And our newest addition is AP Seminar. And so those are the newest courses. What's important to note is the number of enrolled students in these courses. Here at Riverhead High School, the policy is it's AP for all. So if a student feels they want to challenge themselves and take the course, we offer that opportunity for them, provided they can sustain and maintain the grades in the classroom. So with that said, we don't really turn students away unless they really are not successful, because we don't want to harm them either. And so that's important to notice. And if you look at the bottom, this year's enrollment is 596 students. That's an enormous jump from last year. And so it's looking very positive. It's students wanting to challenge themselves, regardless of the score, and wanting to have that college preparatory work. Okay, so advanced placement distinction achievement. If you take a look, AP provides us a little bit of data, so I'm going to read to you what each one means. So AP Scholar, we have 31 students who have earned that title. An AP Scholar is a student that's earned a 3 or more on 3 or more exams. In 2023, AP Scholar with honors, 8 students earned that, and that is average score of 3.25 on all exams and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more exams. Scholar with distinction, the average score is at 3.5 on all exams and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more exams. And last but not least, National Scholar, and that is the average score of 4 on all exams and scores of 4 or higher on 5 or more exams. And so you could see 31, 8, and 8, that's pretty impressive. Students are taking 5 or more exams, 4 or more exams, AP courses, pretty challenging. Okay, and here's a little summary of some of the scores so that you can get an idea of what we mean by AP for all, regardless of the score. So the mean score, you have to score a 3, 4, or 5 to pass, but the scores are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. A 3 is passing, a 4 is a little higher, obviously, and 5 is a perfect score. And so students who earn a 5 or a 4, depending on the college, will accept it as course credit. And you can see AP Art, the mean score is 2.33, and Drawing, AP Drawing was 3.5. In AP Music Theory, another course that we offer. So we recognize students want to take AP courses in areas of interest that may not necessarily be English, math, social studies, or science, okay? So we recognize that. And again, we have a mean score of 2, but the idea that they want to be there, they want to challenge themselves, the most important. Mathematics. We offer several courses in mathematics. Calculus AB, Calculus BC. You want to take a look at the mean scores there. And we offered Computer Science A, but since we offered pre-calculus, now we've replaced that class with pre-calculus. And now we have also Computer Science Principles. And that one actually seems to be improving. And in Computer Science Principles, you're not just sitting for an exam, you actually have to submit a digital portfolio. We have several courses in AP Science, Biology, Chemistry. Actually, AP Biology grew this year, so pretty exciting that more students are wanting to get into the science fields. Physics 2, which is algebra-based. There's the mean score. Physics C, electricity and magnetism. So we had a couple kids challenge it last year. This year we have 10 kids, so we're pretty excited about that as well. And then we have Physics C, mechanics. English AP, we offer 2 courses, actually 3 now, because we have AP Seminar, but we have English Language and Composition. And if you notice, the mean score increased a lot in English Language Composition. That program grew, as well as English Literature and Composition. And again, the mean score 3.26. So those are growing as well. Social Studies, we offer 3 AP courses, European History, and this program has grown significantly. For years, we've only offered 1 class. We've only had 1 period. We have 3 sections. So it's pretty amazing. We have our 9 honors kids. They're actually wanting to get into the AP course, European History. It might help that they really enjoy the teachers, so that might help as well. But it's pretty exciting to see. I've been here a long time, so I'm actually encouraged by it. United States History, again, we went from 2 sections and we're at 3 sections. So again, kids are just challenging themselves, and regardless of the score, it really isn't a reflection. We value the classroom experience. We value the rigor in the classroom, And that's the work that's going to get them college and career ready. And this is our standout AP class, Spanish language AP, taught by Ms. Borum. If you notice, there's no ones and twos. It's 3, 4, or 5, and each year it gets bigger and bigger with the 4 and the 5. She's actually a rater for the AP exams, so I think that helps too, right? But she really does get her students ready, and it's AP Spanish language and culture. So you're writing essays about the environment, about ecology, and you don't even realize, like, you know, and you have to do this all in Spanish. And the same with French language and culture. We have one student taking that course this year. So it's pretty encouraging to see our students really pushing themselves, making that extra effort, not just settling to take a course that they know they can get 100 in, but actually wanting to challenge themselves and prepare themselves for the college world. And so I'm just encouraged by these numbers, and I hope they get bigger. So thank you.
Good evening. So I'm going to speak a little bit about our dual enrollment program, and I'm going to give you a brief overview for those of you who are not aware of what dual enrollment actually means. Dual enrollment programs allow students at the high school to take college classes while enrolled in high school. These classes count for both high school and college credit. Riverhead High School students who complete dual enrollment courses may need to take fewer classes upon graduation, as they are transferable into college, so long as they meet baseline GPA requirements. These are established by the schools. So as you can see on the slide, we have a wide variety of dual enrollment programs, and it continues to grow. You can see that we have, when I first got here many years ago, all we offered was Syracuse Public Affairs. That's what SUPA stands for. And we have since opened up the breadth of our courses to Stony Brook University. That is the ACE program, or the Accelerated College Experience. And that started out with the history of Long Island and continues to grow. That now also embodies all of our world language programs. And this year, for the first time, we opened up a new program, News Literacy. So the number's low on that, but that continues to grow as it is a new program just launching. So we're excited about the future about that. The Suffolk Community Early College Program is a real jewel in the crown that we have here at Riverhead, and we are the recipients due to the fact of our geographic location. We are in commuting distance to the Eastern Campus. And again, what is the Suffolk Community College Early College Program, or ECP program? It's an opportunity for our students in their junior and senior year to earn college credits while having the experience of college life. They actually get bused from the high school here in the morning over to the campus. But if they choose not to take advantage of the program during the day, they can go in the evenings, they can go in intersession, they can go in summer sessions. So anytime courses are offered at any campus on Long Island in Suffolk, the students have the opportunity to take those courses at those classes. So each February, along with Suffolk Community College administrators, the high school administration, including myself, offer an information night for our qualified students and their parents. This is then followed by an on-campus visit, which we run in the springtime in April. At that time, student candidates are offered the opportunity to apply for admission. They complete a Suffolk Community College application and submit their Riverhead High School transcript. Upon acceptance, students that are enrolled in college classes that are offered at the Suffolk campus, they then will be interacting with college faculty, staff, and other students. ECP students can earn college-level credits while continuing to complete high school. These ECP classes are taught by college professors. Our ECP students are then integrated into classes with matriculating college students. And this is important to understand. This is not a dual enrollment program. These course credits are not applied to the student's high school transcript. They are single and separate, and they are listed on a SUNY transcript that is published by the college. So upon applying for admission, at colleges and they're on the cusp of graduating, they would be then sending both the State University of New York transcript, which would include the Suffolk courses, as well as their high school transcript. And then acceptance of that college work is under the domain of the receiving colleges and universities, but graduates have gone on to many prestigious and notable institutions after graduating from Riverhead High School. To my knowledge, we have never had a student refuse to be granted ECP credit so long as they earned a C or better in the course at Suffolk Community College. And I also like to refer to this program really as a secret scholarship for students and families. Because of the articulation agreement we have with the college, the courses are discounted by 75%. That brings down to roughly $58 per credit. So a student who did, say a Riverhead student attended 2 years, and maybe they picked up an evening class, or they did a summer session or an intersession, as I mentioned earlier, it's not difficult to earn 30 credits. If they do that, they're basically completing 1 year of full-time college education, prior to at the point that they graduate, at a cost of $1,740. The day our students earn their diploma, they are no longer eligible for this program. It expires once they complete high school. So on that point, they would be charged $232 per credit. And if you prorate that by 30 credits, it would cost $6,960. So it's a savings of $5,220, which is fantastic. But when you couple that with the fact that they have now completed a full year of college credits that they can take into their post-secondary studies. And again, C or better, I have never seen a student refused credit from any accepting college or university. And on top of that, when they do it during the day, they get bused. The district is supportive enough to supply busing from the high school in the morning at 7:30 a.m. over to the campus, and then we get them back here by fourth period. So it's very, very successful. We do have some more information here on some of our MTSS plan, and it's my understanding that that is in your packets for you to take a look at. So I'm not going to get too much into that, but we've also included information on the different opportunities and clubs and courses that support our MTSS plan, tiers 1, 2, and 3. And also moving forward some of the opportunities and programs we have going ahead for STEM and humanities, and that obviously is for your edification and your reading. And at this point, we will open it up to any questions that you might have for any of the presenters that were here tonight.
Are there any questions from other members of the board?
I'd like to just have more information at the Blue Waves Academy. I'm very happy to see, I know we've been waiting on those results. How many students are currently in Blue Waves Academy?
So the students that were involved in the results here was 40.
40, okay.
The number has declined in the next wave of students that came up to somewhere around 20 at this point. That's due to the fine work that's taking place at the middle school.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, great.
And that program started out with basically a stretch Algebra 1 class, because
Right.
the state allows us to turn any regents into a 2-year class. And we saw a dramatic increase in the results. And at that point, Mr. O'Hara and myself and our administrative team talked about the idea of opening that up, which we did to our living environment classes. And then we said, well, since we've got the science and we've got the math, why don't we wrap them into the humanities as well, basically so that we could get teachers with, special planning time broken out so they could work with each other. We butted up classes against each other, so it's not unusual for that ELA teacher to say to the global teacher, let me take them for a double period, you can make it up next week. So it gives them creativity and flexibility in their planning, basically to put together the best instructional practices for the students.
Right, that's excellent. And I think it's around, can you tell me how many kids in a class? It was small, right? It was like 15, like didn't you limit the size? You kept
Yeah.
it just small
Yeah, we try to keep
right?
it. We try to keep it to around a dozen
Okay, great.
students in a class.
Any other questions? I have a question for you, Mr. Cassard, Ms.
Yes.
Parlato. You had mentioned about the SUNY Suffolk classes, never hearing of, classes not being accepted at other at other colleges as long as
Yeah.
they have a C. Do you know about APs and dual enrollments? And I'm just kind of thinking about, my own, past experiences when I, took SUPA and AP classes.
Sure. Well, the dual enrollment, I have not heard as many issues of students not being able to get credit. One of the problems, and I'm not going to say it's a major problem, but it does become a stumbling block when you get to the more competitive level colleges and universities. Many times, because the cost is so great in these, I almost find that, and we're very upfront with the students about this. We tell them, we tell the parents, we explain it to them. I call it a knockout factor. It's not unusual to have a very, very high-end school look at a transcript and say, well, you did really well in the dual enrollment, but you already got high school credit for it, therefore we're not going to allow you to double dip and get college credit as well. And then, of course, we've got the APs, where a 3 or higher is considered acceptable for transferable credit. Depending upon the more competitive school, the more discerning they get as far as what they're going to accept and what they're not going to accept. I know I've heard things as challenging as schools say, well, we're going to accept the 3 or higher, but not until the 7th semester, of your senior year. So that doesn't really help that student who's getting in there trying to put together, a financial plan to pay for this. So they find ways about it. So when we first set it up with Suffolk Community College, we didn't know how it was going to be received by the students, because we could have used it for dual enrollment, but we decided against it and decided we have dual enrollment. Let's not cannibalize that program. Let's leave that as it is and see how it goes. And actually, it's turned out to be a blessing, because it's really, as I like to say, it's almost, it's argument proof when it comes to the schools. When we present the students to them, was this on, it wasn't on the, okay, yeah, then it's a State University of New York transcript. That's it, so as we always say to them, you are college students, and you are enrolled in college, and you are getting a SUNY transcript, and it's worked beautifully, so we're very, very pleased with it.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, in my past experience, specifically, more often with APs than with SUPAs, but some, SUPAs and, University of Albany classes, a lot of times they would transfer as non-major electives.
Right.
Or something like that, but have you experienced, any percentage?
Well, no, that is true.
Yeah.
The whole idea behind the College Board is that there's a consistent measure, there's a structured content, there's a specific discipline, things that the teacher has to have in their coursework. And so because there's that consistent measure, it's not just a Long Island, it's not just Riverhead, it is statewide, it is national, and in most cases, and I was just at an AP coordinators meeting on a Zoom, and there was a coordinator from Shanghai. So it's a consistent measure. So when colleges look at a student's transcript, that for them is a consistent measure. Can the student maintain that level, that rigor? Would they be successful here? And that's a really good indication, even if they scored a 1 or a 2. In most cases, if they scored a 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. It's the idea that the student was willing to put themselves in that position and challenge themselves and willing to take the risk, and that speaks volumes to a college admission.
Thank you all so much.
Okay, I'd like to thank our directors and our building leaders for providing us with a wealth of information this evening. So I'm just going to continue with my report. I would like to provide you with the status of DEI Task Force. Communication was shared yesterday with all families and district stakeholders in the Riverhead learning community through the Parent Square platform, with information specific to the focus of our DEI committee for the 2023-2024 school year. If you're interested in being part of this important committee, please complete the interest survey. Additional information will be forthcoming. Transportation survey. As we complete the first 6 weeks of the 2023-2024 school year, we would like to invite our families' participation in our post-startup transportation survey. Your input will be critical in our efforts to continuously improve upon the transportation services we provide to all students in the district. This survey will be released through the Parent Square platform. This was released on October the 20th and will be open right through November the 10th. Just want to give you some highlights from our elementary, middle school, and high school. On October the 19th, Southampton Town Police Department had a special event for students and staff at Phillips Avenue School. Police helicopter landed in the back field. Following the helicopter landing, each grade level had the opportunity to listen and learn a little bit about the 4 different units of the police department. There were 4 stations set up for demonstration and discussion, including the police helicopter unit, canine unit, and emergency service unit, and drone unit. Phillips Avenue has begun a student government. Students will be engaged in community-based services, such as food drives, Hearts for Soldiers, and assisting with the island harvest, to name a few. These students will also, in collaboration with their 4th grade peers, design our Phillips Avenue courtyard. Plans are also in the works to implement virtual morning announcements to inform all students of important upcoming events and projects through the student government. At Riley has hosted a PTA book fair last week, which was a very successful event, including an evening when students could purchase books as well as paint pumpkins. Appreciation is extended to Para for all they do. The leadership team is busy with the Green Initiative, which includes composting and gardening in the courtyard. The Riley MTSS Committee is working on reading inventory to assess where we are and where we plan to travel. Riley students are learning about our community, with each class studying a Riverhead landmark and sharing their learning with the school community. Aquabog. On October the 23rd, Aquabog hosted its 2nd annual book talk, an opportunity for staff and parents to gather and hear from an author with a valuable message. This year's author is Maclean Ducliffe, who wrote Hunt, Gather, Parent, What Ancient Cultures Can Teach Us About the Lost Art of Raising Happy, Helpful Little Humans. Plans are also in the place to host a staff and family book club on the same text. Aquabog students in grades 2, 3, and 4 have been eagerly completing their Let Grow projects. Let Grow project is an initiative that encourages children to gain independence and resilience by engaging in non-academic activities outside of their comfort zones, fostering self-reliance and personal growth. At Roanoke, E&L Family Night was a tremendous success. The cafeteria was filled with families and community resources, along with an insightful E&L presentation. Families were able to go home with gently used warm clothes for the winter. Pulaski Intermediate School. History at Pulaski Street School came to life for students at the old fairgrounds site in Riverhead. This was the 2nd year Pulaski Street School offered a fairground festival, where students were able to take a tour of the past. Posters from the different events from the fairgrounds came to life as student council members described the period-appropriate articles. Thank you to our classes that demonstrated some of the time period-appropriate activities, like churning milk into butter, weaving raw cotton into clothing, and making apple juice from apples. Appreciation is extended to the Fink Country Farm for providing the very old tractor and beautiful display, helping our students understand all the tools and hard work needed to live back in that time period. And I was part of that event last week, and it was an amazing event, and I was so pleased just to see our kids participate in all these activities. Pulaski honored Riverhead's Vietnam War Hero Private First Class Garfield M. Langhorne during their 19th year of offering the annual essay contest ceremony held at the school on October the 13th. The contest required 6th graders to define what being a hero means to them and to reflect on how Private First Class Langhorne's example inspires them to become a hero in their community as well. The winning students for the 2023 event were Luke Shearer, Caitlin Kenhead, and Joanna Del Aquila Palma. Riverhead Middle School. As part of the middle school advisory program, students painted rocks focused on celebrating Riverhead Middle School pride. the new acronym that stands for present, respectful, independent, diverse, and empowered. These rocks will be placed outside of the school building for all to see as they enter our beautiful building. 8th grade health students have started a new unit from the Too Good for Drugs and Violence curriculum. The Too Good curriculum includes lessons and activities to strengthen knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, and skills effective for drug use and violence prevention. The Too Good programs are made to energize and inspire teachers and instructors to maximize their effectiveness and to create a healthy and supportive classroom climate, which mitigates risk factors, builds protection, and supports resiliency. Special thank you to Ms. Keller and Ms. Masser for their dedicated efforts. The Middle School Blue Waves News Club, a new club edition for this school year, has started producing their first short movies, which will run on our digital signage in the near future. Their first series of films will be focused on the new Pride acronym, with emphasis given to modeling appropriate and respectful behaviors in the hallway, cafeteria, and the classroom. Appreciation is extended to our advisor, Mr. Yukin, for all the support he has provided to all of our student stars. At the high school, congratulations to Emma Acritelli and Ms. Sheridan, teacher of the high school filmmaking class. Emma participated in the Long Island Film Festival, where she won 3 awards for her film, Cons of Collecting Dust. She won for Best Animation, Best Microfilm, and the Spirit of New York Life Award. Congratulations, Emma. Fine Arts Department. 5 students were selected to the New York State NISCAM All-County Music Ensemble. Ethan Caskey for chorus, Christopher Carver, band, Noah Lake, chorus, Cayenne Metzger, chorus, and Rose Green for orchestra. Students are selected for these ensembles based on achieving high scores on the NYSSMA solo. Blue Mask will be presenting their full production of Mean Girls in the high school edition on Friday, November the 3rd at 7 o'clock, Saturday, November the 4th at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., and Sunday, November 5th at 1 p.m. Kindly reach out to Mr. Rockcamp for details. Department of SEL, ENL, Special Programs Community Outreach. We had successful ENL Family Night events at Aquabog, the high school and the middle school combined, and Roanoke. Data integration has started for the Elevation database for ENL students that is funded through our Title III funds. This will help educators and administrators collect and store data from various sources in a centralized interface to form language development goals. It also provides strategies and helps differentiate instruction to help multilingual learners in their language acquisition and content mastery. All teachers district-wide will have access to this database. We have begun MTS professional development with our instructional staff. Guidance Department. PSAT was administered to students on Saturday, October the 14th. As per Mr. Kazar, the digital PSAT was completed and was successful. There were 121 students that had registered and 90 students had been tested. And finally, in athletics, Boys Golf League and conference champs followed an undefeated season. Counties started on Monday. 5 of 6 golfers made the cut for today. We are ranked number 1 in Suffolk County for the team golf playoffs. Breaking news, Colby Barron came in second this afternoon in the Suffolk County golf tournament and will be going to states. Congratulations to him. Girls volleyball has made the playoffs for the first time in 10 years. They won the first round playoff game. Christopher Jones set a new school record at Sunken Meadow by running an incredible 13:45 4K race. This outstanding achievement broke our previous school record that had stood since 2006. And that concludes my lengthy report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Galati. We're going to move to public comment on agenda items. So this is just a comment on items in our consent agenda and new business. Are there any comments from the public? Any comments, Lisa? No comments? Great. So we're going to move on to consent agenda. Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. We're going to move on to new business. First, I'd like to make a motion to table letters C, letter O, and letter P from the agenda. Can I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Can I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? The motion passes. Those will be skipped over until next week, until next meeting. So new business. We're going to begin with letter A, approval of termination of contract with National Business Technologies. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? The motion passes. Letter B, approval of educational support services for 2023-2024 school year. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Can I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? The motion passes. Skipping over letter C. Letter D, approval of memorandum of agreement and resignation of superintendent of schools. Can I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Conley. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter E, approval of memorandum of agreement and appointment of temporary interim superintendent of schools. Can I have a motion? Motion. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Just for clarification, this is extending Dr. Galati as interim superintendent through to October 29th. All in favor? And motion passes. Letter F, which goes with letter E, appointment of interim superintendent of schools. This will be appointing Cheryl Pedicic as our interim superintendent of schools beginning on October 30th and going up through and including June 30th of next year. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter G, approval of employment agreement. This is appointing Dr. Marianne Cartasano as acting assistant superintendent for business effective October 25th and through June 30th of 2024. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter H, amendment of approval of appointment. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter I, amendment to individual contract. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Conley. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter J, approval of annual employment contract. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter K, approval of senior account clerk and assistant payroll supervisor. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter L, approval of memorandum of agreement with RCFA member. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter M, approval of amendment to memorandum of agreement for CSEA. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter N, approval of contracts. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion?
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Skipping over letters O and P, going to letter Q, approval of contract with Butterfly Effect Project Incorporated. Can I have a motion to accept? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Can I have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Letter R, approval of field trips. This is to send the varsity boys and girls spring track team to compete in the spring track and field events and championships in Cicero, New York. The varsity boys golf team to compete in the boys golf tournament in Elmira, New York. Varsity boys and girls winter track teams to compete in the winter track and field event for championships in Staten Island, New York. Varsity wrestling team to compete in the Dan Wickham Classic Wrestling Tournament in Unitago, New York. Varsity wrestling team to compete in wrestling events for the championships in Albany, New York. And varsity cheerleaders to attend national competition in Orlando, Florida. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion?
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, but hope they enjoy their trips.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
good
luck.
luck.
Exciting. Good luck.
Good luck to everybody, and it's great to have, have so many championships being listed right there. Can I have a motion, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Motion passes. And then finally, letter S, acceptance of donations. We have clear pine boards, plywood sheets, and an aluminum ladder from Riverhead Building Supply, paint from Avov's Paint, and various items from Donors Choose in the amount of $13,122.93 to be used for technology and tech projects. We have various school supplies from Donors Choose in the amount of $5,664.43 from Ms. Heinrich's Special Education Classroom, and an outdoor book library donated by the Riley Avenue Parents Association to be used at Riley Avenue Elementary School. Can I have a motion to accept?
Motion?
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
No,
Thank you.
No, thank you very much. And all in favor? And motion passes. We can move on to opportunity for board members. First, do we have any committee reports?
Yours is short, so. I'll do audit committee. We have audit committee. The audit committee met on October 12th from 5 to 5:30, and presence was Dr. Galati, Dr. Osei, Virginia Healy, Colin Palmer, myself, and John Mackey. It was either at the location was at the district office and virtual. The district is working with the external auditor, Bondi Group, on the 2022-2023 external audit. The audit was delayed due to difficulties obtaining GASB 75 documents, post-employment benefits other than pensions. There was a material change in health insurance information. Actuary will be providing data as reports can't be pulled from WinCap. The external auditors will have their final report to the Board of Ed on 14 November. The district is working with the state auditors on the CARES grant audit. A corrective action plan will be presented on November 14th meeting. The district is working with the internal auditor on the 2023-2024 cybersecurity NIST gap analysis, as well as the internal audit. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Any other committee reports?
Yes, on October 11th, the policy committee met. In attendance were Mr. Palmer, myself, Mr. Scudder, and Dr. Galati. The following BOE policies were reviewed. 4000 instruction, 4711 weighting of Regents exams. The policy committee is making a recommendation to place this policy on hold until the Regents grade weighting committee meets to further discuss. Findings will be shared with the policy committee, and a recommendation will be shared with the Board of Ed. Fiscal management, 6410, authorized signatures. It has been determined by the policy committee that this policy is in keeping with the mission and vision of the Riverhead Central School District and does not warrant any modifications, upgrades, or changes at this time. New policy, electronic signatures. The policy committee is making a recommendation to modify that sample policy as provided by Gercio and Gercio, that paragraphs 2 and 3 be listed as footnotes to the policy. NISBA updates, 0110.2, sexual harassment in the workplace, previously called sexual harassment of employees. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. Emphasis is placed with regards to, but not limited to, religion, sexual orientation, immigration status, age, race, creed, and more. In addition, the policy emphasizes the New York State Human Rights Law. 4321, Programs for Students with Disabilities. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. Pronoun changes and clarification to birth dates are emphasized in the recommendation. In addition, under the provision of services segment, to add that students will be placed, when deemed appropriate by the CSE, into a non-restrictive learning environment. Policy 4765, online, distant, and remote learning. This is not a current policy. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 4821, school ceremonies and observances, which is not a current policy. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 5040, student religious expression, not a current policy. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 5225, student personal expression. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 8131, pandemic planning. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 8413, transportation for non-public school students, not a current policy. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. 9101, employee religious expression, new policy. The Policy Committee has reviewed the NYSBA recommendations to the policy. The committee is in agreement to the modifications and with the addition of new appropriate administrative regulations to be implemented and addressed in the policy. I think I'm going to be saying this in my sleep tonight. 7000, facilities development, policy 7500, naming facilities. The Policy Committee is making a recommendation to add a statement. As per the discretion of the Board of Education, a procedure will be determined and coordinated with the administrator in making motions for this request. Policy 8411, school bus scheduling and routing. The Policy Committee has placed this policy on hold with a request for the Transportation Department to review and make necessary recommendations to be shared with the Policy Committee at a subsequent meeting. Policy 8411-R, school bus scheduling and routing regulation. The Policy Committee has placed this regulation on hold with a request for the Transportation Department to review and make necessary recommendations to be shared with the Policy Committee at a subsequent meeting. And lastly, Policy 9645, disclosure of wrongful conduct. The Policy Committee is making a recommendation to review the Code of Conduct to assess specifically if there is a parental component to be aligned with this policy.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Any other committee reports? Seeing none, any general board comments? I have one comment, just specifically about the video at the beginning. Thank you very much for that. That was, it was very touching. Something that I actually really liked seeing as part of it was seeing new things that are in the school actually being highlighted in there, because I haven't had a chance to be able to, walk through the halls, recently, and seeing, the extra security measures at the high school and the middle school for check-in, seeing the dual language classes in elementary. I'm really, it was great to be able to see those.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. The video was very touching.
We're going to move on to opportunity for RCFA.
Good evening. The RCFA is again pleased to announce that after a 3-year hiatus, the Harlem Wizards will be returning to the Riverhead High School Gymnasium on Thursday, November 9th, where they will once again take on the Riverhead teachers. Starting in 2013, the RCFA has hosted the Harlem Wizards to benefit the RCFA Scholarship Fund. This event has raised nearly $85,000, all of which has been awarded directly to Riverhead students. Since 2019 alone, when the Wizards were last in Riverhead, the RCFA has awarded $27,500 in the form of 44 scholarships to Riverhead students. In addition, at the onset of COVID, the RCFA used $10,000 from the proceeds of this event to purchase Chromebooks for our students. We'd like to have a special thanks to our sponsors. Our media sponsors, Riverhead Local. Our Slam Dunk sponsors are Administrative Services Only, Bernadette Tuttle, partner Toomey Latham & Shea, Empire Wellness, and Millennium Systems Integration. Our 3-point sponsors are Stacy Burnham Associates, Georgia's of Baiting Hollow, BSN Sports, and Messina Electric. Our rebound sponsors are the Riverhead Administrators Association, Riverhead Building Supply, Mirkin & Gordon, Peconic Monuments, Riverhead Toyota, and our boosters are Gibbeser & Gibbeser CPAs and Rep Electric. Tickets are now on sale at harlemwizards.com. We're asking the community to come and support this wonderful event again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. We have opportunity for RAA. Do we have a comment this evening? Mr. Camp.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Board Appreciation Week. I'm honored to stand before you to introduce the new leadership team of Riverhead Administrators Association. Myself, Jason Rodkamp, Charles Gassar serve as our co-presidents. David Enos, Kellyanne Parlato, co-vice presidents. Jean Grimm, secretary. Allison Conroy, treasurer. Patrick Burke, elementary representative, and Maria Casamasa, secondary representative. We want to emphasize that our primary focus is to support our students, teachers, and community. In the ever-evolving landscape of education, we recognize the success of our students is the ultimate goal. Our students are the core of our educational community, and they deserve the very best. Our teachers are the backbone of our educational system. They work tirelessly day in and day out to impart knowledge, inspire curiosity, and shape the future. We are here to stand shoulder to shoulder with them, providing them the necessary resources, professional development, and support to help them excel in their mission. Our community is an essential partner in the educational journey of our students. Together, we can achieve greatness. Our doors are open to engage in a collaborative dialogue with the community, ensuring that our schools remain vibrant hubs of learning and growth. As a board, you play a critical role in supporting our school district. Your unwavering support has allowed us to have access to a first-class program of study, and we thank you for that. We understand that challenges lie ahead, but we are committed to tackling them. The Riverhead Administrators Association will work tirelessly to promote innovation, equity, and inclusivity, ensuring that every student has access to a high-quality education. We will actively seek ways to enhance the educational experience for all, embracing diversity and championing the unique qualities that make our community special. As a team, we are dedicated to listening to the voices of our stakeholders. We firmly believe that a thriving school community benefits not only our students, but also our entire society. Thank you, and we look forward to a collaborative and impactful journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodkamp. We're now going to move on to opportunity for public comment. Just as a reminder, just to make sure that we're able to, get everyone's comments. When you come up, just make sure to mention your name and where you're from, and then also try to stay within the 3-minute time frame.
All right, thank you. Hi, my name is Sonia Johnson. I'm the president of CSEA Non-Instructional Unit. I understand your policies and procedures. I'm not going to ask you to comment on what I'm saying, because I know you can't, on personnel matters. But I am here as the union president to state for the record that administrative leave should be used for employees under investigation. Returning an employee before the findings and determinations of this board, however, is wrong on so many levels. Allow me to finish by pointing out that my CSEA membership has never been returned to work while they are being investigated in a matter of this magnitude. As our esteemed board, you have the power and the moral obligation to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Good evening. My name is Victoria Smith. I'm a unit president for the Riverhead Central School District Special Education Teachers Aides. I just want to make a statement in behalf of both of our CSCA membership about contract negotiation. Both our meetings were canceled without giving us the reason why we got canceled for our meetings. Hopefully, all of the disruption of the district will be cleared up soon, so we can go back to a negotiation. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Smith, when were the meetings originally set for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's actually scheduled. Yours was today, and
Today.
ours was starting tomorrow.
Okay. We'll make sure to reach out to you guys ASAP.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Do you have anyone else for public comment? Do you have any online comments? No online comments? No? Seeing no other comments, can I have a motion to recess back into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular person or corporation?
Motion.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy. Can I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? And motion passes. Thank you all. We'll be back on November 14th for our next meeting. Thanks so much.
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.